You want to hear some music? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, today you're going to get all the music you want.
The request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are up.
It's open, man.
Got any Blue Oyster Cult?
No, I don't have any Blue Oyster Cult. I ate 34 pairs last time around. Where were you? I was that close to working at 7-Eleven, you know.
Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Not out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
The attitude dictates that you don't care whether she comes, stays, lays, or prays. I mean, whatever happens, your toes are still tapping.
Hey, Strawberry! Oh, Strawberry. Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing? This is my friend.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What you looking at, man?
Oh, no, nothing. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at his neck, man.
Can you honestly tell me that you forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander or the charisma of Rick Nielsen?
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Well, how about the tunes? I want you to want me. The Dream Police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Build your muscles picking strawberries. You know, Bend and Scoop. Maybe I could get you a job with United Fruit. I got a buddy with United Fruit. Start with strawberries, you might work your way up to these goddamn bananas. When, boy, are you gonna get your act together?
We're creating a society of cell phone crazed, marijuana smoking zombies.
Coming to you not quite live from Lukewarm Tallboy Studios deep in the land of Gar, this is Bend and Scoop, the podcast featuring music, mirth, and minutia, focused on exposing artists you probably haven't heard, but should. I'm Bob, and I'll be your tour guide on this amazingly asymmetric auditory adventure as we journey to the center of your cochlea. Welcome to episode 38, which is about how many minutes this week my house has actually had power. Thanks for nothing, ERCOT. Joining us at the end of the show to play a round of Is That Your Vinyl Answer? And the Groovin' After Party will be our very special guest, Toby Pipes, one of the founding members of the band Deep Blue Something, who currently co-hosts the High Tea with Old Waver podcast. We spread the gospel of vinyl here at Bend and Scoop, so be sure to tell us all about your favorite neighborhood record store by posting to @BendScoop on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag SpinMomAndPop. Our record store of the week is Curious Collections Vinyl and More in Bryan, Texas, right down the road from our special guest, Toby. You can follow them on Twitter @Aggie Records, on Instagram @Curious Collections Vinyl Records, on Facebook @Curious Collections TX, and you can check out their website at CuriousCollectionsTX.com. Kansas City may have lost the Super Bowl, but they won the leadoff spot in this episode thanks to a great jam by Native Sons, The Whiffs, off 2019's Another Whiff. Here's Now I Know on Bend and Scoop.
96 KSNS.
Give us your heroes, we demand, and you don't ask why. You yield to the traffic sign and make it look like a long high five. Order in the stable, or you won't go for a ride. If you run, you better jump high. They'll be seeing hair, not hide. You're wrong, you're right. You cross at the corner just to avoid the fight. Oh, the heavy balloon thinks that it is flying, but the heavy balloon is only waiting in line. There isn't a flaw in the design. There seems to be a problem in your mind when you're resigned to not even trying. A fox without guile that a hen could catch, making off with anything that isn't attached. Be sure of the bride behind the veil. This coffin is missing a nail. Of all things that go bump in the night, the worst among us hidden in plain sight. If we fly just a little bit higher, we could leave it all behind. You're wrong, you're right. You wish it was over so you could sleep at night. Oh, the heavy balloon thinks that it is flying, but the heavy balloon is only waiting in line. There isn't a flaw in the design. There seems to be a problem in your mind when you resign to not even trying. Not even trying. Not even
From Lockhart, Texas, just a few miles from where I grew up, that's Telenovela with Heavy Balloon off their 2016 album House of Souls. Campfire Songs is a podcast where I get together and share songs with my buddies Tom, Jim, and Todd. So be sure to follow us on Twitter at Songs Campfire and give us a listen for more great music. Up next from New York City is something my cell phone has been experiencing the past several days, Weak Signal, with this track off their 2019 EP Shimpling called Swipey Style on Bend and Scoop.
see me. I'm like the night. I am everywhere you go, slumped under the streetlight. Do you ever stop and think of me? Can you even picture me alive? Remember me when you breathe. Forgive me if I cry. I'm falling out of time. Drop me in the desert and I'll live. Drop me in the city and I'll try. Drop me in the ocean and it's me. In the fire I feel fine. Do you ever stop and think of me? Can you even picture me alive? Remember me if you breathe. Forgive me if I cry. I've fallen out of time.
What is going on?
Exactly, Your Honor. What is going on? When a flower of the South, a decent girl with a beautiful, good family, is arrested on her way home from her niece's confirmation and booked and incarcerated like a common woman of the streets. I'm talking about Thelma Cleland of the Cleland Parish, Cleland's of Bay St. Luke, Louisiana, excuse me, where our father, Colonel Judge Brian Cleland, presides over the Cleland County Fifth Circuit bench. Now, I demand that you release this girl right now, or you'll all taste the business end of a buggy whip.
Now, just exactly what is your relationship to the arrestee?
Well, sir, the young woman is my sister. And I know you can believe that the family honor is at stake here. You strike me as a gentleman, sir. Surely you must understand.
Well, of course I understand. My people were related to Jefferson Davis on my mother's side.
I knew it. I knew it, indeed I knew it. A son of the South.
Son of what?
Of the South, sir.
Loitering with intent to commit prostitution. Lewd behavior soliciting for an unlawful act. Bail at $350, Your Honor.
I can't believe my ears. This is an outrage. Let me see that thing. I mean, this is outrageous, ridiculous. Let me see that. Well, I demand satisfaction. Get the arresting officer in here. I will tar and feather the scallywag.
Off their 2020 LP Radio Sounds, that's London's The Speedways with In a World Without Love, It's Hard to Stay Young. My pal David Miller and I co-host a podcast called Plausible Deniability, with new episodes posted the first day of every month. On our latest episode, we have an honest discussion about our ongoing struggles with weight. You can follow Plausible Deniability on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Pause Deny. Life Leone is an LA-based band whose 2013 EP, Comes Crashing, includes this song called Lonely Teacher on Bend and Scoot.
Profile of a lonely teacher, come by dinner, midnight dancer. 15 long years I talked about my life and the things I'm after. It's all so mine, and until then, I will wait for the world to give a sign. Oh, the real deal, reckless feeling. Pass our bending lines in the perfect world that goes straight, drifted around my head like a mislabeled envelope. So don't say goodnight, and for the moment I'll stay until the moment's dead. We ride a river on the road. What's a profile of a lonely teacher? Confide to the midnight dancer. 15 long years I talked about my life and the things I'm after. It's all so mine, and until then, I'll wait for the world to give a sign. Oh, the real deal, reckless feeling. Drink in my hand, ain't parted since I don't know when.
That was Call the Police by Memphis's own Oblivions from 2013's Desperation. Have you ever wanted to host a podcast? Well, all you have to do to join the Mike Hunt and host your very own episode of Assume the Juxtaposition is send me your topic idea to lukewarmtallboy@gmail.com. You can follow Assume the Juxtaposition on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at AssumeTJPod. Let's spin another Memphis band here, Compulsive Gamblers, with this one off their 2000 album, Crystal Gazing Luck Amazing. Stop and think it over on Bend and Scoop.
Chew the fat.
Just what that's supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing personal, love chunks, but can we get to it? You know, I hate to come down from Wayne County. I have businesses in Lansing. I have muffler shops, chicken chains. I got slums to collect the rent from. I have a chiropractic practice. I make adjustments to the human spine. And this little trip has cut far too much into my professional time.
I figured that since you're hustling my turf, we should talk. I run this town. You want to move in on me without permission, without consideration? You gotta pay.
The doctor doesn't pay.
That's it?
The doctor doesn't pay, and he doesn't worry. Now, Mom, if you want trouble, I am talking about scorched earth, no survival, wholesale destruction, body bags and fire, trouble, and you just keep coming out.
You don't know what trouble is, jerk-off.
Mom, I am going to rip off your head and shit down your neck.
Ezra Furman and the Harpoons there with My Soul Has Escaped From My Body from 2013's Banging Down the Doors. How Many is a podcast where I get together with my friends Jesse, Junior, Gary, and Scott to debate a variety of pop culture topics, including movies, sports, TV, music, and more. On our latest episode, we discuss our top 7 new shows of 2020. You can follow How Many on Twitter at How Many Podcast, and you can listen to How Many at howmanypodcast.com. Don't forget to stick around for the end of the show, when we'll be joined in the Groovin' After Party by our special guest, Toby Pipes, from Deep Blue Something and the High Tea with Old Waver podcast, also known as HT Wow. Nashville's Bully released an excellent album last year called Sugar Egg, which featured this rockin' track, Every Tradition, on Bend and Scoop.
Hounds. They're teaching some old songs new tricks. And writing fetching new classics of their own.
Working on my cool. Hey man, what about you? Maybe I'll break the rule. It's a phase of growing through.
Their new album is called Putting on the Dog. It'll rock and roll you over on Columbia Records.
LP available at all 8 Sound Warehouse locations. This Christmas, give music the gift that lasts a lifetime from Sound Warehouse. Buy it once and enjoy it a lifetime. Recorded music is your best entertainment value.
Purling Hiss out of Philadelphia there off 2016's High Bias with 3000 AD, which is also the latest estimate on when these so-called rolling blackouts will finally end here in Texas. Remember to be sure and check out our Bend and Scoop Spotify playlist. If we played it and they have it, you can listen to it there. And if you enjoy listening to what we do here on Bend and Scoop, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. You know, spending nearly an entire week in a freezing house has left me feeling like I might be coming down with something, so perhaps I should make an appointment with Dr. Detroit.
Hello, I'm Dan Aykroyd, and welcome to this fine motion picture emporium. It's nice to know you're here tonight, rather than at home shoving cheap little plastic cartridges into cheap imported video systems that keep you and your family hostage in your own home or apartment. Now, let's face it, big screen entertainment is what it's all about. We've enjoyed it for years. Movies are great. There's nothing like a good movie, or even a bad one for that matter. Remember the classics, though, such as Dr. No. Dr. Zhivago. now at last, Dr. Detroit.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Clifford Scriblow never expected to be anything but a humble scholar.
Nothing's going to change my life. My life is set.
Until one night, he came upon 4 ladies in distress.
Oh, yeah!
And to protect their honor, uphold the law.
Step aside, lackey, or you'll be eating my food.
And fight for the American way. He became the fancy dressing, flashy dancing, death-defying, jacuzzi dipping.
Don't forget power walking, systems analysis, rock climbing.
Dynamic defender of decency.
Dr. Detroit?
Dr. Detroit.
Dr. Detroit!
Hey, what?
Dr. Detroit.
I can feel my hair grow.
Get up off of that thing. Can't you feel better? Get up off of that thing. Try. Get up off of that thing. Hey, can't you feel better? Get up off of that thing. Try to release that pressure. Dr. Detroit.
I'm taking the
Dan Aykroyd is Dr. Detroit.
This is the best time I've ever had in my entire life! Do you hear me, world?
Jam. Get up off of the thing, dance. Do you feel better? Get up off of the thing, dance. Get up off of the thing, dance. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing. Try to release the pressure. Get up off of that thing, shake. Get up off of that thing and shake. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing, shake. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing. Try to release the pressure. Get up off. Good God, y'all. Good God, God, good y'all. Get up off of that thing, dance. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing. Say it now. Get up off of that thing, shake. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing and try to release the pressure. Get up off of that thing and twist. Get up off and twist. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing and twist now. Good God, y'all. Good God, y'all. God, good y'all. Hey, now, all you culture hillbilly, beboppers, redneck, chaw bacon, Clyde hoppers, grab your country crossroads gals when you left singing now. Show the rich boys in this town, singing on up and singing on down. Listen up now, you anoraks. Listen up, don't talk back. Play my old time banjo now. I'm about to show you how to get up off of that thing and dance. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing and swing. Twist and shout. Shake. Jam. Get up off of that thing. Double thumb. Twist and shout, shake, get up off of that thing, dance. Do you feel better? Get up off of that thing, try to release the pressure. Get up off of that thing, get up, giddy up, Off that thing.
People listen to people. So listen, people.
Welcome to the Groovin' After Party. Come on in and pour yourself a cold one.
Joining me now for our Groovin' After Party here on Bend and Scoop is one of the founding members of the band Deep Blue Something and co-host of High Tea with Old Waver, the biggest podcast in DFW, Toby Pipes. Welcome, Toby.
Thanks for having me. The biggest podcast in DFW?
I can't think of a bigger one.
You need awards and stuff then.
Why don't you tell everybody about HT Wow? We had Davey on. Davey was actually the first guest we had on way back last summer. So it's been a while since we've had someone from HT Wow on, and some of the folks who are listening may not know about the podcast. So tell us about it.
Well, it was an idea that, because Dave used to, when we would hang out, we would always just listen to music and drink beer and talk about funny stuff. So we decided, if we're going to do a podcast, let's drink beer and listen to music and talk about funny stuff. And Dave, he is he's worldwide with the ticket. He's Gen X Davey.
Gen X Davey, indeed.
So all I have to do is just, start the podcast and record it and let him go. So I just follow him. He's the star.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think you guys both bring a lot to the table. It's a great listen. For those who've never heard it, you guys do a song swap and a beer swap, right?
It started off, we used to buy the beers and we would kind of bring certain beers that we liked and along with the songs that we liked. Usually I pick, it hasn't been going like this lately, but usually I pick songs from the 80s or the 90s or even the 70s, 60s, whatever, that people might have passed by, that they might not have ever heard before and they might want to get into now. And Davey usually goes for the newer stuff. But lately, we've both been playing the newer jams. And every now and then, if something comes up, like a member passes away, or if something comes up with an artist, then I'll do a whole block on just like, say, Brian Eno or Thomas Dolby or somebody like Robert Smith.
You guys did the Thompson Twins not too long ago. That was a really good episode.
Yeah. And it's fun because, half the time when I think that I know a lot about these bands, and then when we start researching it a little bit, I find out crazy stuff every time, and a bunch of people that they've known growing up. And it's always weird how these bands just start out of the craziest situations and then they become huge. It's cool.
It's great because sometimes you guys will play stuff that I remember from back in the day, but other times it's from those artists, but it's things I've never heard before. So it's really awesome. I really enjoy it.
Thanks.
So Toby, let's learn a little bit more about your own personal musical journey. And we're going to play something that we like to call, Is That Your Vinyl Answer? First off, what was the first record you remember ever buying with your own money?
Oh, that's weird. I think it was a Boston record. What was the one? Was the Boston record with Don't Look Back on it called Don't Look Back?
I believe so. Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
78, yeah.
That might have been the first record I ever bought.
Was it a vinyl or was it a 8-track cassette?
It was a vinyl.
Okay.
The first 8 tracks I remember having might have been a Kiss double platinum 8-track that I had, or my brother had it maybe. But of course, my folks had all the John Denver and Johnny Mathis and tons of Willie Nelson stuff.
Do you remember where you bought that?
It had to have been somewhere in Houston, like at Greenspoint Mall or something, because I grew up in Huntsville. Later on, we had a really, really great record store in Huntsville called the Ear Doctor Records and Tapes. It was definitely one of those 80s, you and your friends hang out in the record store place. And
college towns have those a lot, especially.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's just Sam Houston kids, and you could kind of hang out up there and that's where we would get our giant posters for the walls. And
Yeah, I grew up in San Marcos, and it was the same thing. We had a record store there called Sundance, and we would hang out there and buy all the stuff for the walls, and just any and everything would be at that one store. Yeah.
Yeah, I think kids are missing that. That was a cool little thing to hang out in record stores. And
they're making a comeback, which is great. By any chance, do you still have that Boston record?
Yeah, I think I do.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. That's kind of the cool thing about vinyl. You can't give those up. It's weird. You can give 8 tracks up eventually, even cassettes, but for some reason you always keep the vinyl.
For sure. Memories, definitely. Which band or artist albums would you say make up the largest portion of your collection?
It would have to be The Cure or Depeche Mode. I probably have more Depeche Mode because of all the 12 inches and stuff that they used to mix. I mean, there were plenty of Cure 12 inches too, but Depeche Mode was so much more dance clubby. I have a ton of those 12 inches that last for like 20 minutes, when the song starts, and it's just,
Yeah.
So it's got to be Depeche Mode. The Smiths, I have a lot of stuff, but they weren't around as long.
So which Depeche Mode album is your favorite, Toby?
It's either Black Celebration or Music for the Masses, and it might be Music for the Masses just because that's the big one that they did, the 101 movie, the concert in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl. And so, yeah, I think that one might be my favorite.
And what about The Cure? What's your favorite Cure record?
Disintegration.
Excellent choice. Which specific album by any artist have you purchased the most over the years?
It might be the Smiths, just because I had them on every different thing. Because it started off with cassettes, and then a cassette would melt. Then I had the vinyls, and then all the CDs, and then they would remaster everything, so you'd get that again.
Do you remember which Smiths record it was?
I think that I probably have every version of the Louder Than Bombs one. The one that they had for America that was almost like a greatest hits at that time. But yeah, I had that on everything. CD, tape, vinyl, everything.
Who among your friends and family would you say has the largest collection of vinyl currently?
Probably me right now.
What would you estimate your collection is at size-wise?
I don't know. I mean, it could feel like one row on a bookshelf, maybe
a few hundred.
Yeah, it could be a couple of hundred, but I have friends that are just, they have tons and tons. And yeah, I guess mainly the reason why I have as many as I do is because I don't really go out and just hunt for vinyl all the time. But if I pass by a record store, I go in just to see, like, I wonder if they have that one Cocteau Twins record in here. I don't sit around, and I definitely don't collect tons and tons of it. But of course, if I see one I've been looking for forever, I'll snag it instantly.
Do you have a favorite record store currently, or was Ear Doctor your all-time favorite?
That one was definitely my all-time favorite. I mean, I like the ones in Dallas, good records, and I like all the half-price books. You gotta go through those because you'll always find something super weird in there.
Do you have anywhere in College Station that you like to go to?
There is a place, and I cannot remember the name of it right now. It's mainly a vinyl store, but they'll sell like the diffuser spray stuff and like
yeah.
It's like a hippie shop. But yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's in downtown Bryan.
Well, Toby, what are some ways folks can follow you and the podcast on social media? I know you guys have a website, sell some merch there. Mm-hmm. What are all the ways to keep track of the H2L podcast?
Well, I'm always just at Toby Pipes on everything because I've only found one other Toby Pipes in the world, and he lives in Australia.
It does kind of sound like an Australian name when you think about it.
The best way to find everything is at oldwaver.com. Dave has it all set up for all the links and all the Patreon pages, and he's great at that stuff. And he has all of the episodes, and I think you can get to the merch thing from the Patreon page and all that stuff.
And what's great about the Patreon is you guys have bonus content, right, for subscribers?
Yeah, we do. We used to, when we would record the podcast, we would finish it, go have dinner, come back, and then sit out in my garage or in the house and play music till like 2 a.m, just anything we could think of. And we thought, well, it's a lot less talking and more just songs. And we can play things that are just completely random and, might not necessarily be something we want on the regular pod to talk about for 10 minutes after it's, we just want to play it because it's weird. And so we just started recording it, and he threw it up there, but people seem to like it. It's a good drive trip when you're taking a long trip to just have it on in the background, and there's 2 guys drinking beer, just playing music.
It's a great listen, and you guys are monthly, right? So there's should be a new episode coming out for February here pretty soon.
Yeah, we actually record it tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, this is excellent timing. Getting you guys right before you record.
It's
That's
great. Yeah, and the
fantastic.
guys at Good Friend help us out. I don't know if you've ever been over there, but
Oh yeah, great burgers. I'm in Garland, so I'm not far from Good Friend at all.
yeah, those are great guys, and there are for a while, especially when they could, when people, I think they're open again. They're our beer sponsor, so now we don't even have to pick the beers.
Can't beat that. Well, Toby, thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate it.
And thank you. This is cool.
Look forward to hearing the new episode. Say hi to Davey for me.
I will.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Toby.
All right, bye, man.
Bye-bye, lardass.
Bend and Scoop is a production of Lukewarm Tallboy Studios.
We will return tomorrow morning with the sun.
Good evening, and have a good life.